All right, let's get into some chart action for Bitcoin and Ethereum. In this video, we'll talk about Bitcoin chart, Ethereum chart, Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin compared to Ethereum chart, the total crypto market cap, Bitcoin dominance, and Ethereum dominance. So let's start with Bitcoin. So I'm just looking at these trends right here. We have these bottom supports right here. That gives me this bottom trend like this. In the big time frame, we're pretty much on this uptrend, something like this. So I'm watching this trend line for a break to the downside to get really bearish, and so yeah, that's basically what I'm watching on to be like on alert for. But then I also have this trend line going. We had a trend line going something like this. We had resistance right here and resistance right here basically, and so okay, we had this trend line going down like this, and we broke that trend line right there, going to the upside. We still haven't broken this level right here, so technically we're still kind of in a downtrend. I mean, at any time, if we got resistance right here, we'd pretty much have to move this trend line up something like this. So we're gonna have to like watch out until we break this line right here. We're still kind of in a downtrend, or kind of consolidating or something like that. So, but in general, we broke this trend line and now we're in this uptrend like this. Now we're in like this channel. So that's basically what I've been watching. We have a channel that we're bouncing in between, boom, 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 boom. And I think if we could break this channel, then we could target from the top to the bottom of the channel, and maybe something like this. I don't know. You might want to do it on your own chart just to see, get a perfect target. But wherever we break out, maybe something like this. I was in general thinking maybe we could come up and retest this previous resistance line. Maybe something like right there. Let's do a horizontal line. You could use TradingView and do horizontal lines, something like that. You could change the color on it and change it to like red or something. That's what I do. And so basically we have this resistance line, something like this, and maybe we could put it like right there, maybe at that top. And that's at around 59,380. I don't know. You check it out on your chart. And so if we break out of this, I don't know, let's say we broke out of, I don't know, or even if we don't break out of it, we're still in an uptrend, something like this. It's possible we just slowly creep up to that level and then we get a correction. I mean, this is still good, going up and down in this little channel right here. So until we break this bottom trend line, I'm not really too worried. I'm just actually, it's very bullish, I think. So we're in bullish mode until we break this trend line to the downside, I think. Let's take a look at Ethereum real quick. All right, so we have kind of a similar thing going on. I was kind of doing a trend line from here to, I mean, at first it was like this, and then it was like this, and then it was like this. So I was thinking maybe we should probably not even maybe pay attention to that one and maybe look more at like this one. We had this like channel going down like this. We broke that to the upside. Then I was kind of targeting this previous resistance area right there. We got there and broke out of that, and now we're kind of bouncing on the top of that, which is excellent. So now what I'm looking at is if we go to maybe like the daily time frame, we could see the candles a little thicker. So I'm thinking maybe we're going up to the next resistance around 40,000. I mean, not 40,000, 4,550, maybe something like that, or maybe retest the top at 4179, 4180, something. The tippy top wick was at 4,374. So we're gonna want to, if we could break that, then like I was talking about with the Bitcoin, then we're no longer in this kind of, I would say this is definitely an uptrend, but we still haven't, like I was saying, if we get resistance right here and start going to the downside, we'll still be in a, like technically like a downtrend, or we'll still be like trending down as far as this. We'll be getting a lower top. So what are they called? Yeah, lower top. So that one will be, this one will be a lower top than this one, and right here, basically. That's why I want to break this line right here. That'll be good, like we did with Cardano. That is that's good. That's very bullish, I think, breaking the tops, breaking these previous resistance. So I think we're gonna want to watch this and then we'll also watch this bottom trend line right here. Sorry, I can't draw. something like that. And until we break that one going to the downside, then I'm kind of in the same thing about it's bullish. And actually, if we go into like, if we kind of zoom in, this is even on the daily time frame. So we had resistance right here and resistance right here. And then we have, so we basically have a trend line going something like this. I don't know if this is a flag pattern or a triangle pattern or what. Let me know what you guys would target or what kind of pattern you would see with this. Well, to be conservative, you could maybe do just from the top to the bottom of that little pattern right there, drag that to the breakout, and we're looking at a target of around 3612. So just from that pattern, but there's not a lot of like volume, I guess, coming in. We're not getting a lot of volume. So I guess we could look at the RSI real quick. The RSI is trending down and the price is kind of going sideways. The price was trending down and we got a breakout right here. What I was watching is the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure it doesn't look too crazy as like too bearish. It didn't look like a bearish, I don't know. I don't think it looked too much like a bearish divergence is what I'm trying to say. So basically with Ethereum, like I said, I'm hoping that we can either come up and retest this top area right here, maybe at around 4175 or 4077, somewhere around there, or this other little target right here at 3612, like this little from the top to the bottom of this little. That's what I was saying. I wonder if it could be like a flag pattern, something like this. That would be kind of interesting. It kind of looks like it. The other thing would be just like a triangle pattern, something like this, because we had a downtrend, or maybe even like a channel. I don't know. I'm thinking that we just do this conservative target from the top to the bottom of this little, these two trend lines right here, drag that to the breakout and something like that. Let's look at Ethereum to Bitcoin though. So Ethereum had been doing really good against Bitcoin. This is the weekly chart right here. Ethereum was doing crazy against Bitcoin way back here, and then it was trending down for a long time. But we had this, let's zoom in. We had some resistance right here, resistance right here, resistance right here. I was watching this trend line right here a while back. We were basically in this channel, something like that. We got a breakout to the upside right there. We were targeting from the top to the bottom of this channel, something like that. Drag that to the breakout. In general though, we're basically breaking out of this kind of, we got sideways and then now we're going kind of up. It looked like we were doing some sort of flag pattern, something like this, and we got like a little pennant pattern. But I think we can kind of come back and delete some of these trend lines and maybe reevaluate what's going on. It kind of looks like the pattern changed a little bit, something like this. So we didn't really get that breakout that we're looking at. And also, if you look at the volume, there's not a lot of big volume candles coming out of this yet. So maybe we haven't broken out. Ethereum hasn't broken out to the upside of Bitcoin yet. If it's going to, it's possible that we keep trending down and we go to the downside, but I'm kind of thinking we might be retesting these red lines up here where their previous resistance. This one, if we go back to the daily time frame, we can kind of see that these red lines line up with like these tops kind of. So we have a top right there, this wick right there. There's other areas too. Let me zoom in a little bit more. But those red lines are basically what I'm watching. There's a little bit of resistance right there too. So yeah, we already hit one of the first red lines and got resistance. We came up right there, got resistance right there, and started heading down. So, but it looks like still a pennant pattern, which means if we break to the upside of this will be good for Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. You'll be wanting to look at Ethereum more than you want to look at Bitcoin. And in general, this is still looking good for Ethereum. So that's kind of what I'm thinking on that. If we go to the total crypto market cap, this is just a general idea of what's happening with the whole market. So like I said, in general, we're on this channel right here until we break this to the downside like that. Then I'm assuming that we're going up and doing good. Like I said, that we're going to have bounces up and down, so you might be able to time some of these things, but we're in an uptrend, so it's possible that it doesn't even go down. It's possible that it just goes sideways until we hit this trend line again, and then it starts heading up. So yeah, you might want to be careful on shorting until we break this trend line right here. Let's look at the Bitcoin dominance and the Ethereum dominance real quick. With the Bitcoin dominance, we had a big, huge, let's zoom out real quick just so you get a quick view of it. We had a big, huge triangle pattern. Let's go to the weekly. or kind of a flag pattern, something like this, broke to the downside. And ever since we broke this trend line going down, I've been kind of just looking at the altcoins. Basically, this is kind of altcoin season. Whenever this chart does this, it's like altcoin season. So we had a downtrend, and then we got like a little uptrend, kind of like it almost looks like a bear flag, honestly. But because it's like a flag and then it's heading down. But it could also just be a rising wedge where we get support on one of these levels and then start getting bounces. In general though, I've been watching these green lines right here. Once we hit these from these bottoms of these because this is the bottom of that first triangle. Once we hit those, then I'm going to be looking at Bitcoin a lot more, because that's where it got previous support at. So yeah, and we're kind of approaching that. If we delete some of these trend lines, you can kind of see where the price is a little better. But it looks like we're still trending down, heading to that direction. And we could do like a downtrend, something like this, until we break that trend line going to the upside, something like that. Then Bitcoin is maybe taking a break, even though it's been doing really good. But yeah. So let's go to look at the Ethereum Dominance. That's the other thing. That's the last thing I wanted to show you guys. I actually haven't looked at it in a while though. So let's see what we have here. We were looking at this flag pattern, something like this. That's what I was looking at. We had resistance right here, resistance right here. We had a big, huge run up before that. And then we had a breakout to the upside. But if we take away some of these trend lines, let's kind of reevaluate what's going on here. We might, I don't know. I was thinking, in general, it looks like we have a little downtrend going something like this. That's what we're looking at right now. That's one of the trends I just deleted. We got a downtrend, and it looks like we might be breaking up to the upside. This is the Ethereum Dominance. I mean, it's just something to take a look at. If we take a look at the weekly time frame, it's been at one point it was really high, the dominance, and then it started trending down. But now it's in that big uptrend. I mean, it's in a big uptrend. So. But it's also bouncing. It's going in and out. I mean, it's just bouncing up and down. So, in general, though, I do think it's trending up, which is good for Ethereum, which is another good case for Ethereum, should I say. I basically would say let's do a bottom trend line and a top trend line. We basically have something like, let's go to the daily time frame. Basically have this bottom right here and this bottom right here. It looks like we're kind of approaching that area right there. Maybe we're getting support on it. This is the daily time frame too, so it should be pretty worth looking at. We have a top right here and another top right there. So maybe looking at some sort of triangle pattern. This one kind of looks more like a triangle pattern because we have a little more points of contact. And then if we did that, then maybe we could target from the top to the bottom of this. If we broke to the upside, maybe something like that. And then if we broke to the downside, I would be looking at support on this trend line right here. This is the dominance chart, so I don't know. I kind of just like looking at it to see if we start breaking this trend line right here, then that's dominant for Ethereum. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I actually did put in an order recently with Ethereum. Let's see. Let's go to back to Ethereum. We broke this little trend line right here. And I don't know. I thought it was we're still in an uptrend, so I thought it'd be maybe I'd dollar cost average a little bit more into it and see if we could get to this line right up here. I'm not sure if it ends up breaking to the downside. I'll still just hold it and then look for more opportunities down here. The other thing I was going to do is do Fibonacci retracement levels on like let's say this was the top, and just to play around with the Fibonacci retracements. We can do, like let's say this was the top and we have a big run like that. We could drag from the bottom to the top, and let's say something like this. Let's say it did start to top out right here and start to head down. I'm not saying that it is. Like I said, I just put in an order right here, so I don't want this to happen. But if it did, maybe we could look at 27.64, 25.75. Those are the levels I would be looking at. Maybe even 29.98 at this red line right there, like this previous support line. So I don't know, just something to keep in mind. We could also do it with Bitcoin too. I've actually been looking at this with Bitcoin. I've been kind of waiting for it to get a correction, but I don't know. I've been kind of, that's why I'm saying maybe we should just wait until we break the downtrend to really look at these. But if this was the top, maybe 42.56, 40,100, maybe even 45,610. Yeah, I mean, you could see that we have some support lining up right at this 61% level. But yeah, well, I don't know. You're gonna have to make your own decisions. But like I said, until we break this bottom trend line, I'm not really looking at those quite yet. But it's something to think about and just another thing to check out. All right, if you guys like that video, hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know your targets. If you guys have any requests, throw them down in the comments. Possibly I'll get to them. If you really want me to get to them, hit up my Patreon. All right, you guys have a great day. See you in the next one.